Hey, what is up everyone? This is Miguel here from AnimeSecrets.org, and wow, as we all saw today, Nintendo announced that their Nintendo Direct for the fall is coming up tomorrow. So not a whole lot of kind of turnaround time to kind of predict from time of announcement to time of the actual event, but we're gonna do our best to kind of get this video out there before the Direct comes out tomorrow in the early morning if you're in the West Coast. For me, unfortunately, I'll try to see if I can snipe it live. I know today at my job we were pretty dead for like the first hour, so if it was today I would have been able to watch it just fine, but tomorrow they'll be kind of showing it. I'll try to see what I can catch during work and then probably catch the rest during my break. But yeah, it is very interesting. There's been a myriad of different rumors that have been swirling around for the last couple of weeks. A lot of companies reporting on the Switch's successor, and then over here we have some people kind of guessing, some well-known leakers kind of posting their hints or their takes of what we're going to see at this Nintendo Direct. So just like we did on our last kind of prediction video, we're going to have three different things here. We're going to have safe bet, which is basically things that they're probably going to talk about. These are easy, anyone can kind of pick out, that's why they're called safe. We have our long shots, which is something more like 50-50 that they may show here, they may not. That's why we call them 50-50s, that's why we call them long shots. And then we have our Hopium picks. Hopium, of course, being the things that we hope happen, that we want to see happen, but the chances of it actually happening aren't quite there. The thing for the dreamers and whatnot. But from our last predictions, we were okay. We were so. We missed on a couple safe bets, and we were fine on the 50-50s. We got none of the copium, but that's why we call it copium. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start off here with the safe picks. Again, these are things that I'm kind of expecting to see. Some of them are things I'm actually looking forward to, and some of them, how can I put it? Because I'm not trying to make these sound like they're lame, like they suck and whatnot. But these are just the ones that are just like, yeah, I expect to see this year. Yeah, I've been, wanting to see more news on this, so this is probably the best time to put it out here. So for our safe picks, we're gonna go ahead and start off with Mario RPG. Announced at the last Nintendo Direct, the Super Mario RPG remake, which comes out here in November, a couple months away. Some more information on it, potentially any changes or any extra additions to the game, or even just showing off some more. So that's what I have kind of for a safe pick. Number one is more Super Mario RPG news. Coming up on another safe pick, a few more details about the Princess Peach game they showed off. They showed a small little teaser of it, and it looked fine, like nothing too spectacular that we saw, but again, it was just a teaser, so there really wasn't too much to kind of go see off of there. But I kind of expect to see a little bit more of what the game is about. I believe they said it has a winter release, so it's one that isn't too far off in the distance. And then finally, for our last kind of safe pick here, we're gonna go with three. And I think I said this, we're safe on the last one as well, so I might look dumb here, but once again, I'm going to go to the level 5 games that they showed off at E3, stuff like Deca Police and Professor Layton. Now, I'm not saying we're going to see some more Professor Layton, but I'm just doing this as a blanket statement for all level 5 games. For me personally, I want to see more of Deca Police. That is still one of my more anticipated titles of the year. So yeah, those are the safe picks that I have for me. More news on Mario RPG, more news on Super Princess Peach, and some updates on the level 5 games. Alright, so next up here, these are the ones that we call the 50/50s. These are things that might happen, and they don't necessarily have to be for things that we've already, or that we don't know. These could be more updates on other games that we know are in the works, games that they've already announced but they haven't shown anything too much about, and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily like, oh, it's a 50/50 surprise of what we're gonna get. Sometimes it's just like, hey, remember this game that we announced a couple years back? Here it is. And so now that we kind of got the grounds for the 50/50s, we're gonna start off with probably the most, how can I put it? This is gonna be the most like, really? Or are you sure that's not more of a pipe dream? But I'm pretty confident in this, and not just because a leaker said it, not because I'm one of those people that say, oh, this is coming out next year, and be wrong 5 years in a row, looking at you, Bloomberg. But I think the time is finally coming upon us where we are going to get some news on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Now, it's a long shot, I know, but look at when the Switch was first revealed. When the Switch was first announced, we got it on like a random trailer in October in 2016. It was just like some people playing Breath of the Wild, we saw a little bit of Splatoon. We didn't see too much of what the successor was going to look like, but we did see some things in there of what was going to be on the Switch. And so, I'm feeling pretty confident. It's been 7 years since that announcement. It's been 6 years since the Switch has been released. Nintendo usually operates on a 5 to 6 year plan for their home consoles. And don't get me wrong, the Switch has never had a price cut. The Switch has continued to outsell the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. How this thing is still going is pretty freaking insane. And if I were Nintendo, why would I? I don't blame them for not announcing, not rushing this, because this thing is still selling well. Now, its sales have begun to almost peter out, but when you're now the second or third highest selling console of all time, it was bound to happen eventually. And so we're finally getting to the point where we should start seeing things come up. We should probably be expecting the Switch's successor to be released sooner rather than later. And honestly, this would be the right kind of direct to kind of kick it off. No disrespect to the rest of the titles that are coming out this year. I love Super Mario RPG. Mario Wonder is going to be great. But, what better way to drum up interest for next year? And we're still in September. It's crazy. But, what better way to kind of get a giant, kind of big, lead in for the rest of the year than saying, yeah, we're building on the Switch's successor. So that's kind of the big 50/50 one that I think that I'm kind of predicting on there. There's been a number of websites now that have corroborated that they have shown this here. The dev kits are already out for people. It was shown back in a private only event at Gamescom, and with so many websites corroborating on that story and not just on a random rumor like Bloomberg, I think we're going to see it sooner rather than later, and what better perfect moment than this direct. Another one on the 50/50s, Metroid Prime 4. I know I said this one 50/50 on the last one, but kind of tying into the Switch's successor rumor, I could honestly see Prime 4, and with it having to be restarted again a couple of years ago, I could basically see this being a launch title for the Switch's successor, if not one of the early winter titles that Nintendo releases next year, their big Q1 game for next year. I trust Retro Studios. They have done phenomenal work. and I just want to see gameplay of this. You know, they announced it on the Nintendo Switch E3, like the first one they had of the year for the Switch, and it was a big moment. People saw the logo, people were like, F yeah, let's go. And nothing for 6 years now. Yeah, no, I think it is. I think the moment is here for the Switch's successor, and I know I already said that, but going up to the point of Metroid, what better way to kind of start drumming up interest for it than saying, yeah, Metroid Prime 4 on Switch and Switch 2. Another one for the 50/50s, more updates on the Switch Online library. I think we'll get one more of the last one of the Nintendo 64 games that they've kind of teased early on. You know, I'm not a big fan of how they're slowly dripping out N64, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy titles, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I probably could have put that on safe, but last time we didn't get N64, I think we got Game Boy Advance, so I'm lumping them all together. 50/50, we'll see some more of this. And then going off of another 50/50 one, the last of the booster course for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know they just announced that Mario Kart Tour is kind of ending its updates coming up here in October, so I think we're getting closer to when they'll put that last booster course out there. And well, I'm just going to give a shout out to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You know, God, highest selling game on the console. So why would they make a Mario Kart 9 when this thing has sold I want to say 50 million units by this point? Like, it is some insane number of games that this thing has sold. Like, almost half of the Nintendo Switch user base has Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Freaking insane. And to the rest of my AS crew, get on that. But yeah, the last booster course, what will be on there, who knows? We've got one more or two more characters on there. A lot of people are kind of hedging their bets, looking at kind of the characters we got in Mario Kart Tour. People are thinking Diddy, people are thinking Pauline, people are thinking Nabbit. I hope we get Diddy, personally. I don't care who the other one is, as long as one of them is Diddy Kong. And if one of the courses is Dino Jungle, I'll be satisfied with the booster pass. And that will be it for kind of the long shots. Or not the long shots, the 50/50s. You know, I think it's going to be... I'm going to hedge my bets on kind of the first one I talked about, and I think we finally do get word on the Switch successor here. Alright, we are finally here. Hopium. The longest of the long shots, the ain't no way this is happening, the keep dreaming, the are you sure, the your game is dead, why are you even still hoping? But that's why we call it Hopium. And dang it, I'm gonna have hope. Some random little bird told me on Twitter, and I hate them for always giving me hope, but because sometimes never happens. I'm shattered, I'm broken, I cry a little bit. Other times, like in E3 2019, it happens. I'm crying tears of joy, and I'm going, yes, yes, yes. We got Hopium here, and my first Hopium pick. Little bird. Posted on Twitter. Some random syntax, whatever math equation that led to FZero. I do not care if it's a new title. I do not care if it's an HD remake of FZero GX. FZero game. It's freaking time. The last home console FZero game, I was either a freshman or sophomore in high school. Alright, we are further away from that time of an FZero game releasing than when GX came out from when I was born. So it's been a while, man, and if it happens, I am gonna be the happiest guy ever. The leaker successfully gave us, or successfully told us, Mario Wonder and Super Mario RPG Remake. They've been liking a lot of FZero stuff. They even flat out said has nothing related to do with the Virtual Console. So, any kind of FZero new game, or not necessarily new game, but something that isn't a Virtual Console release, is what I'm going to go for. The other Hopium pick. Hopium. Crazy term. New Donkey Kong Country game. I know the popular thing going around is Donkey Kong vs. Mario minis. But you know what? I'm gonna hope. New Donkey Kong Country game. Tropical Freeze came out way too long ago. It needs another shot. Like, we need more Donkey Kong Country in our lives. And what better way than a new game? I think we're gonna get a new Donkey Kong Country game. And then another Hopium pick, and this is more related to not video games in general, but Nintendo America President Doug Bowser recently said Nintendo's entering a new phase where they're going to become a multimedia kind of entity. And we really shouldn't be shocked by this. I mean, I'm more shocked that it's actually taking this long. But with the success of the Super Mario Brothers movie, it is the second highest grossing movie of the year right now. Barbie beat it, man. That was a wild ride. It was only a matter of time before Nintendo said, all these other kind of multimedia facets that we can take our company into, that we can take our game franchises into. Why not? Let's go crazy. And this is where I think they formally announced kind of Nintendo Studios. I know, there's been, an actual formation of it, but I think this is where they formally introduce it and say, we're setting this up to make some more, to create more kind of movies or TV shows, who they team up with and whatnot. I'm not saying they're going to announce any projects. I'm not saying the Nintendo Cinematic Universe is going to be announced here. That'd be a Hopium pick for sure. But I'm just saying that we formally get that announcement and that they'll be working on stuff moving forward. And, I think if there is an announcement of any sort, I think we do get the, we can't get any kind of announcements because of the strikes. So yeah, scratch that on announcements of any potential works. But we'll definitely be getting, or the Hopium pick is, they say, yep, we are expanding into these kinds of things, and this is what it's going to be. And finally, the last Hopium of the Hopium picks, and this is real Hopium because they've already flat out came out and said, we're not doing DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. I don't believe them. I think they're swerving us. I think we get some DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. I'm satisfied with the way the game ended. And I'm not saying they need to announce DLC, but part of me does kind of hope that they do, because I feel like there's so much in the sky that they could still do. But yeah, those are kind of the Hopium picks there. Oh, and Gen 5 remakes, or something to do with Pokemon Generation 5. Those are the... I had to sneak my love for Gen 5 in there. But yeah, those are kind of the Hopium picks there. Alright, so yeah, those are kind of my predictions here of what we're going to get on the Nintendo Direct. It's going to be a beefy one, 40 minutes. So whatever it is that they're going to announce, I think we are due for some major announcements. Like I said, I don't know exactly what the major announcements are going to be. I don't think the leaker has kind of shown or said anything about Switch 2. I think they've only been focused on games, so who knows? But those are kind of the big predictions there. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun time. This is more than likely our final kind of general direct for the year. We'll still probably get like some game focused directs as we kind of get closer to the end of the year. But I mean, I'm just thinking of, in terms of their major releases, kind of the last two are Wonder and Super Mario RPG, and we already got the big Super Mario Wonder direct, and no disrespect to the remake of Super Mario RPG, but like, I don't think we'll get a full-blown direct for that. So yeah, those are my picks there for what I think is gonna get shown off. What do you guys think is gonna get shown off? What do you hope to see? And if you saw the direct and you want to come back here and laugh at my face, feel free, and let us know in the comments what you're hoping for and how excited are you. Anyway, for AnimeSecrets.org, this is Miguel signing out.